It's time for another tale from the glass-guarded world, with Brian as Paxton the human cleric and fighter, Chris as Aster Fortuna the half-elf rogue and bard, Ashley as Tara Dane the human fighter, and me, Mike, as the DM. The party is currently exploring the ruins of a complex once occupied by wizards. They've speculated that these wizards might have been doing some kind of research, but the complex now seems to be abandoned. The wizards have left some dangerous creatures behind, however. There's just a little bit of the administrative level left to explore, and after that, our heroes plan to descend to the next floor down. Abjuration. Left off, you had explored all of the administration level except for a small area on the north side. There is a long hallway that leads past Bertrand and Rickart's quarters, past the dormitories to the north, and there's a long hallway there you had not explored. Other than that, you have explored everything on this level. My question is, do you want to check that out too, or do you want to just go ahead and head down, as Tara said, head down to Abjuration?
Oh, we definitely need to check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, leave no room unexplored.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head down that long hallway. As you head down the long hallway, it gets a little damp as you move toward this door. This door is a strange metal. It's made of some kind of strange metal that shines like silver, but it has a strange surface texture. It's very smooth, but has kind of lines across it. It's hard to describe. You've never seen something quite like it, and it's completely untarnished by the passage of time. There's no rust. There's nothing on this door that suggests that it wasn't cleaned yesterday. It's just so shiny.
When you say it's damp, is it damp like down on the floor or like everywhere, like in the air?
The air feels a little damp.
What's the temperature of the door if I touch it?
It feels like a cold metal door.
But not colder than a standard door.
It doesn't feel unusually cold.
Okay. Does it open?
It opens easily. You push it open.
Would I know that, like, maybe do Arcana to check if maybe the door, it's magic that's keeping this pristine? Maybe it's a magical door.
What's your Arcana bonus?
Yes, 4.
You're not casting detect magic, so you're not certain. But there are no runes, there are no other indications that this door is anything magical. It may just be a strange metal.
Interesting.
Yeah, if it's a metal that we've never seen before, then it stands to reason that maybe this metal doesn't rust or tarnish like ones we know of.
Well, the door pushes open easily. Are you going to push it all the way open, or are you just checking to see if it opens at all?
I'm checking to see if it opens at all, but once I can tell that it's not locked, I kind of give a inquisitive look to the other members of the party.
Tara nods.
Yeah, open it up.
All right. I open it all the way.
The room beyond is lit by a magical torch on the wall to your left.
We have not taken a long rest. I thought that was...
We have not.
This room stretches off to the east or to your right into darkness beyond the torchlight, and it is about 40 feet across from north to south. The north and south walls are lined with stalls, each with a door, though the doors have open spaces above and below them. There are many drains in the tile floor, and every sound you make echoes and reverberates around this space. You can hear several dripping noises from farther down the room to the east. The stone tile floor was probably white or maybe light tan in the past, but it appears that mold has spread across the floor, and the floor is covered with lots of splotchy black patches now.
I think this might be a bathroom.
Could be. I feel like if we keep exploring, the further we go down, the more dangerous it becomes. I feel like I'm really tapped. I feel like if we close this door up again, we know that a lot of the doors are barricaded around this room. Maybe we could take a rest and take turns.
Well, I think we should probably explore the unlit end of the room before we decide to take a nap.
Makes sense.
Yeah, also, I don't want to nap in a wet, moldy place. I would like to go to Tara's bedroom. It marks so on the map.
So Tara's leaving?
No,
Oh.
I mean, just
After we
saying
explore.
if we're going to take
Okay.
a rest.
I think
this is
Aster
not
wants
where
to
I'm
go to
doing
Tara's
it.
bedroom too.
So Aster, are you sending Richard down the
Yes.
down the room?
Cast Richard.
All right, you cast dancing lights down the room. You can see the stalls continue on both sides. Looking into the stalls on the left, now that you have seen how a shower functions in Tara's room, you realize that these are showers on the left, and there are toilets on the right. And they continue all the way down the room. As you continue moving Richard down and walking down the hallway between these stalls, one of the doors on the right slams open and then slowly falls closed again.
Mm.
One of the stall doors
Yes.
slams open.
Yes.
I pull out my rapier. Just kind of like in a cautious stance. Okay, that was weird.
You can hear that dripping noise continuing from many of the showers.
If we're all quiet for a second, do I hear footsteps?
All right, you all stop and you're all quiet. Aster and Paxton, you both listen very carefully, too busy thinking about how she'd like to get back to her room. But you're listening very carefully. You can hear sort of a squishing, slushing sound coming farther down the passage on your right.
Does it sound like around the area where the door slammed open?
Yes, although it sounds like it's maybe moving toward you.
So I use message and I send a message to Aster and I said, I think we might have just stumbled upon an invisible man taking a poop.
Yes, I mean, I can light him up with some fairy fire, or I can move Richard closer to see if there's even anything there, because he could be invisible, like you said.
Do it. We need to see whatever's in here.
Can I move Richard over to that area to brighten
Sure.
up that room?
Sure, you move the lights over in that direction and you hear a loud splash. And you see some water splash on the floor around one of the stalls. And then you don't hear anything.
Oh boy.
Tara
Let-
keeps walking into the room.
All right, where is Tara walking to?
I mean, she's just walking, like, down to the end of the hall, because, I mean, like...
Okay.
Oh, you're working towards the stall.
No, just to check out the whole area.
All right.
Is Tara even aware that this situation is happening?
Apparently not. She didn't hear it, and you used message, so...
That's so true.
All right, so Tara walks down the hallway ahead of you two, oblivious to the conversation you are having telepathically.
I mentioned to Tara, there's something over there. Be careful.
Watch out for that toilet.
Yeah, there's a noise in that direction.
I have no interest in checking out their toilets.
I think it's safe to say that we do.
Yes.
You know, I don't see any sinks.
There
Gross.
are. I didn't draw them on there. I'm sorry. There are actually sinks on the west wall when you first come in.
Oh, okay, because I was going to complain about these
Yeah.
wizards.
Yep, there
there
are two
soap
sinks up
dispensers?
against the wall on
Dirty
the left
hands.
side.
Well, I think we should go investigate. I have my rapier out.
Yeah,
Something
and
attacks me, save me.
I've got my shield and my mace. And
All
we
right.
walk over to the stall, and I use my mace to open the door with my mace, holding the shield
And I'm
in
behind
front.
him with the sword kind
There's
of
an
pointing.
there's an empty toilet, and there's some water splashed in the ground around it, but you don't see anything else.
Can't, I'm gonna...
I whack the air in front of the toilet with my mace.
Okay.
I was gonna do fairy fire, but that works.
Okay.
Well, you whack the air first. There's nothing there. Tara, I would like you to make a perception check, and I'm gonna let you roll it.
Okay.
Interesting.
I got an 18.
18. You hear it before it happens, and you are not surprised. The stall that you're walking past further down the passage here suddenly explodes outward, and you see a black blob of some kind swinging toward your head.
Whoa.
Roll for initiative.
Hey!
Just her or all of
I
us?
found
All of
it!
you.
Almost wasted my fairy fire. Ooh,
Tara, what did you get?
17.
Aster?
20.
Wow. Paxton?
10.
Tara, there is this black blob that is reaching out from this stall. It's pushed the door open and is reaching toward you. And you, however, were not surprised. The first person who gets to act is Aster. Aster, you see Terra farther down the passage ahead of you. The door has just slammed open, and there's a black pseudopod reaching toward her. She is not surprised. What do you want to do?
It's not humanoid in nature, right?
No, it looks like just a black blob.
Got it. How far am I from Terra?
Oh, let's say you're 30 feet.
I rush up, and I'm not going to do any kind of flourish or anything like that, but I'm going to thrust my rapier into it.
Okay. Make your attack.
13 plus 7.
That's a hit.
Yep. That is 8 damage.
All right.
And then I'm going to swing with the dagger, +1 dagger, with my offhand. That's might not hit. 14.
That is a hit.
Oh, okay. 6 damage with the dagger.
And here's what happens. As you carve off pieces of this black blob, they suddenly spring to life.
Oh,
When Aster hit it, it split into 2 smaller puddings.
interesting. Okay.
So there's no longer the original one. There's just 2 smaller ones now.
But those smaller pieces are weaker, right?
They look like they're less threatening than the original, but they're still out to eat you. DM's note: I screwed up how black puddings work. I forgot that they are immune to slashing damage. It seems weird to me that slashing damage splits them into 2 creatures but doesn't hurt them, but that's the rule as written. It doesn't seem to have mattered much in the end, as you'll see, because the puddings deal out some serious damage, and the most important attacks the party uses against them are non-slashing.
Can I jump back 2 steps with my movement?
Well, you've already taken the 30-foot move.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So you're here. Also, as you swing at this thing, each of your attacks, there's a sort of a backsplash or back spray of acid every time you attack.
Oh.
And you take first 2 points of acid damage from your first attack, and from your second one you take 7 points of acid damage.
Okay, so 9.
9 points total. Were you at full?
I was at full.
All right, so
I'm at
you are now
40.
at 32, is that right?
No, 40. My HP is 49.
Oh, 49. I need to update this. Okay, right, 49. Okay, yes.
Hard tank.
Yeah, so now you're at 40.
It was just the rolls that I rolled.
Okay, that was Aster's turn, and now Terra. There are now 2 of them.
Oh boy. Okay, Tara is gonna stab one.
Okay, which one?
She's gonna go for the main one with first attack.
Okay,
That is 13.
that's a hit.
All right. And that's 8 is damage.
8 points of damage, and it splits into another pudding.
Okay.
So one of these things that you hit, one of these black blobs that you've hit, splits into yet another one. So now...
Are they all the same size?
No, now there's one that's slightly bigger than the other 2, and there's 2 smaller ones.
I'm gonna hit.
And you
with
take
my,
you also take 8 points of acid damage.
Okay, with my second attack, I'm going to hit the one that was, I guess, in the same place as the original one I hit.
Okay.
And this one's 21 damage. Or 21 to hit.
21 to hit. That's a hit.
And 10 damage.
All right. This one also splits into 2 smaller puddings. So now there are 4 of them. They're all pretty small. And you take, from that attack, 5 points of damage of acid splashing back on you.
Okay.
And what does that put you at right now?
Oh, well, I was at 45. And
Okay, I had it right then. Okay.
yeah, now I'm at 32.
That brings us to Paxton. Paxton, you're going to go before this thing.
Okay, so I have an idea. So if I have a spell, Thunderwave, that does a 15-foot cube around myself,
Yep.
is there any place that I can get to where I can, with the 15-foot cube around myself, damage the puddings without damaging my cohorts?
You would have to run past them and down the hallway a bit, but you could do that.
Okay, and second question is, since I would imagine Thunderwave is blowing force outward, the acid wouldn't splash back onto me, it would splash outward. Would I be showering my teammates in acid?
Yes.
Shoot. Well, I don't think that that's a smart thing to do then. I'm going to try a...
You could always do something this round and tell them to move away next round.
Yeah. I'm going to run up to the side of them. And as a free action, I'm going to yell, get behind me and cover your ears. And then I'm going to fire off a firebolt at them.
Okay.
And see what that does. I'm going to fire the firebolt at whatever the biggest one is.
Okay, you fire at the biggest. There are two that are equal size here.
Okay.
You fire just one of those, and go ahead and roll your attack.
19.
That is definitely a hit. What's
Right.
the damage?
That's only 4 fire damage.
4 fire damage. It does not split.
Does
Yeah.
it seem like they're susceptible to fire?
It definitely hurt it. It wasn't immune to it.
It doesn't catch on fire or
It
anything,
doesn't
though?
catch on fire,
Okay.
but it was not split by it, and it was definitely injured by that. It pulls away from the flame.
So after I do my attack, I kind of stretch my arms out to form like a wall for the other two, my teammates, to get behind.
All right, now thunder wave. Is that what you're talking about casting?
Yeah, get 15 feet behind me specifically.
So that is your turn. All right, and that means it is their turn. And unfortunately, because there are 4 of them, this could get ugly. So the first one is going to attack Paxton, and it misses. It thumps up against your armor, but it can't do any damage. The second one also attacks Paxton and also misses. The next one attacks Tara, and again, she moves out of the way, and the last one's going to attack Aster. Oh, Aster's been hit. Aster, this...
Wait, can I engage disadvantage?
Yes, you can apply your defensive maneuvering to impose disadvantage if Aster's the one you want to protect.
It is.
And it misses. So acid is sort of splashing all over the place as these pseudopods are slamming into the walls, slamming into the doors, and you're ducking under them and trying to deflect them with your shields and armor. And we are back to Aster. What do you want to do?
Well, first I say, thank you, Tara. And then will I be engaged in a reaction by the blobs if I move back?
If you take a full disengage action, then no. But that will mean you can't attack or anything.
No, I'm just going to move back. I'm going to take the attack of opportunity.
If you disengage, then they can't get an attack of opportunity on you.
I'm letting them take the attack.
Oh, okay.
I'm moving back the 15 feet for Paxton.
Yeah, but you're not going to attack or anything?
I am, but I want to be behind because I can use an attack from far away. I'm going to cast a spell.
Oh, okay, that's fine. All right, so you're going to trigger an attack of opportunity from all 4 of them then.
Yeah.
Okay. They have disadvantage on you because Tara is imposing disadvantage on them. Second one manages to hit you, even with disadvantage. So as Aster runs back, the second black blob, swings and hits him. Is your armor magical?
My leather?
Yes.
No.
Okay. That could be a problem. So it hits you, and the damage that you take is... First, you take bludgeoning damage. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage, and then a wave of acid flows over you.
Oh, boy.
And that does 25 points of damage.
Get out of town.
25 points of acid damage. Your armor is partly dissolved, and its effectiveness is reduced by 1.
So it's at 13?
Yeah, now your armor class is 1 lower than it used to be, and that armor is not quite as protective.
Okay. Oof, I'm about to faint.
All right, so Aster, that's only the second one.
Yeah, I might go down, guys.
The next one has a critical fumble. So let's pull out the good old fumble table.
Please hit your comrade. Please hit your comrade.
All right, you want to roll percentile for me? See what happens?
Of course. Let's see here. 20.
The blob sort of gets spun around as it swings at you and misses, and basically it's going to have disadvantage on attacks against you until it scores a successful hit at some point in the future, which doesn't really matter since you're out of its range anyway. But it has disadvantage on attacks against you until it manages to hit you again. The last one, as Aster tries to flee. Oh my god. Hey Brian, you want to come look at this?
Is it a crit?
Oh, God.
Oh, no, I just been critted.
Can you see that?
Oh my god.
What happened?
We do need to take a picture of this.
Was it 2?
I rolled double 20s.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh my god. That's
Okay.
amazing.
Okay.
Well, here I go.
All right. So, Aster, you take
Mm-hmm.
7 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm going down.
And here comes
The acid.
the
roll.
acid damage.
It's a lot of dice.
It is.
Please all be ones.
You take 47 points of acid damage.
Oh my.
And I rolled so-so. Now, that's
Okay.
not your negative hit points.
It's not. I just
So you're
faint.
not instantly dead.
No.
But you are very, very badly injured. Also, your armor's effectiveness drops by another one.
Okay. That's at 12. All right. I'm down.
Aster goes down. Tara, what do you want to do?
If his body is there,
Yep.
like, is it going to be harmed by what Paxton wants to do?
Yes, if it's not pulled away. He moved a little bit away, but he is still within range of Paxton's spell. So if Paxton's going to cast that spell, you're going to have to drag Aster away.
Would I have to use an action to grab him? or-
I'm going to say grabbing him is not a full action. I'm going to say that's sort of an interaction. You could pick him up and drag him away without triggering attacks of opportunity if you want to take a disengage action.
Okay, so I'm going to disengage,
Okay.
grab Aster's body, and get to the other end of the room.
Okay. So you pull back, you disengage, you move 30 feet away.
I cradle him protectively.
Okay. Poor Aster. He looks rough. And Paxton, that's your turn. Everyone's out of range.
Hopefully not the puddings.
Except for the puddings. Yeah, the
Okay.
puddings are definitely in range. They're eager to be in range of you.
Okay, so just to clarify, my teammates are 15 feet away behind me.
30 feet, actually.
30
yeah.
feet, okay. And the puddings are all right in front of me.
Correct.
All right. Then I am very upset by them doing so much damage to Aster. So I am ragefully casting Thunderwave.
All right. Then you need to make what? Constitution saving throw? Or is it
Yes.
dexterity, or what is it?
Hold on a second. A wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw, and it is against my spell save DC, which is
8 plus your relevant statistic plus your proficiency bonus. So 8 plus your wisdom bonus plus your proficiency bonus.
14.
14. So all 4 of them have to save. Constitution, you said?
Yes.
Failure, 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 and 1 success. 3 of them fail, and 1 succeeds.
Yeah. So on a failed save, creatures take 2d8 thunder damage.
Okay.
So that's 8 thunder damage.
Okay.
And the ones who failed are pushed 10 feet away. So the one who succeeded only took 4 thunder damage and isn't pushed away.
Okay. So 3 of them are just slammed back into these toilet stalls.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is still next to you. The 3 that got pushed away, they're all very obviously injured by this. There are pieces of them flying all over the place. They don't split into new creatures, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
They do start inching back toward you, though.
Okay, so because it's a 15-foot cube, I was right in front of them, and they got pushed 10 feet away. They are
Yep.
still within thunder wave damage range, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to do an action surge and do it again.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I'm basically going to boom again.
All right.
So go ahead and
Roll
roll.
the saving throws
Yeah.
again. Failure, failure, success, success. All right, so for the first 2, they're going to take full damage. Roll your damage.
9 this time.
All right, the first 2 are just obliterated. They just are splattered all over the wall, and they just basically sink down to the ground and don't move again. The other 2, they're going to take 4 points of damage each.
Was the one that was next to him blown away? Was that the one that was blown away?
No, the two that were blown away, just completely destroyed. Those were ones that had been blown away from him before.
Got it.
One of the ones that had been blown up against the wall before is still around. It's actually the largest one. And then the one that saved last turn is pretty small at this point, but it's still right next to Paxton.
Yeah, and can I use my movement to backpedal to be in front of my teammates,
Yes.
but out of range of the...
Yes, but you will trigger attacks of opportunity from the one that's still close to you.
I'm willing to take that chance.
Okay. And
Because I've got a 22 AC.
It
What am I
misses.
afraid of?
You block it with your shield, and you run back to your friends.
Oh boy.
And so now it is their turn. The two that remain, they begin. First of all, one of them climbs up the ceiling in the stall that it's in and starts creeping across the ceiling toward you, moving about 20 feet around. The other one just slides across the floor toward you. Again, it moved about 20 feet. So at the end of the round, they're about 10 feet away from you, and they are not within range to hit you.
So that's during their turn, which
That's
it is
during
right
their
now.
turn. That's what they do, is they move 20 feet closer to you. You are now 10 feet away from them. Aster, make a death save.
Yes, I'm rolling the d20, right?
Right.
That is a fail.
That's one strike.
Mhm.
Tara, it is your turn.
Okay, I pull out my crossbow.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot at the small one.
The small one. All right, make an attack roll.
That's a 20, unnatural.
That's a hit.
I wish I was awake so I could say something.
And that's 7 damage.
7 damage to the small one. And it is destroyed. The one on the floor, the smaller one, it is destroyed. It just melts into a pile and starts dripping down into the drains.
I'm not sure if my second attack is only melee or if it can.
I think
be
you can only
ranged too.
attack once per round with a crossbow.
Yeah, I'm checking. It just says you can attack twice whenever you take the attack action on your turn.
Okay. Is there a rate of fire listed? Or previous editions had rate of fires listed for, let's see, 5e crossbow.
Do you have to reload the crossbow?
That's why they used to have rate of fires, but they may not. Crossbows have the loading property. Because of the time required to load this weapon, you can only fire one piece of ammunition from it when you use an action, bonus action, or reaction to fire it, regardless of the number of attacks you can normally make.
Okay.
So you can only fire it once per round. You could drag Aster back further.
If there's a further.
Yeah, you've got more room you can back up. You moved pretty
Well,
far
it's
down
extra
the hallway.
attack, not extra action, so I don't know if I can do that.
Well, yeah. So you can attack. Basically, your attack action lets you shoot once, but you could still have your move left. So you can drag
okay.
Aster back if you want to.
Will do.
All right. You drag Aster back another 30 feet, and it is now Paxton's turn. Paxton, what do you want to do? There's one blob left moving toward you.
I feel like I could probably roast this thing with a firebolt, but I feel that it's more important to make sure that Aster doesn't die all the way. So I sprint backwards along with Tara, and I lay hands on Aster, and
Now, you've already used that once today.
What?
The laying hands, divine surge, or no,
No,
you're
I'm-
casting cure wounds.
No, I'm casting Spare the Dying.
Ah, spare the dying. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
so I mean, I'm laying hands on him, but I'm not using like the laying hands.
Okay, all right, great.
thing. So I put my hands on him and I say, "So, like the healer, we really need your help right now." And I cast Spare the Dying on Aster.
All right. So Aster, you are now stabilized,
Awesome.
and you're also now 40 feet away from this blob. It moved 20 feet closer when you were 30 feet away, and now you've added another 30 feet. So you're now 40 feet out of range of this blob, which moves very slowly.
So basically, I don't have to do the death saves.
That's right.
Got it.
You're still at 0, but you're not rolling anymore.
Got it.
All right. So this blob begins to move off to the side toward one of the toilet stalls. It moves into one of the stalls, and you can see it on the floor in there, and that is its turn. Aster, you don't get to do anything. Tara, what do you want to do?
Do I have line of sight with my crossbow?
It has some cover, but you can still shoot at it.
Okay.
So take a shot.
That would be a 12 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay. 7 damage.
It is starting to crawl up into this toilet to try to escape or maybe sneak attack you from a different direction, but the crossbow bolt goes through it, cutting it in half, and it just dissolves.
Yay!
God bless your cross.
Great shot, Tara.
Why do wizards keep acid in their bathroom? Just wondering.
Part of me thinks these might be like undead poops.
What are they eating?
I mean, they're made of acid. I have no idea what their diet is like.
Yeah, this is,
You each get 370 experience points from that fight.
370.
That's a challenge rating 4 monster, guys.
And 4 of them.
Well, one challenge rating 4 monster that you then managed to split into 4 challenge rating
And you said
One
370,
monster.
right?
Yeah,
Good thing we can kite.
Yeah, really.
yeah, yeah. Good thing you figured that out. That's right. And that thunder wave really helped.
Clutch, so clutch.
So I'm super exhausted, and I think Aster probably is
Well,
too.
I'm
So
still
what do you
knocked
say
out.
we all head back to Tara's bedroom?
Hey, did we see any leather armor when we were, touring this area?
You
Because I
didn't
know-
see any leather, no.
There was a bunch of armor and extra weapons in my room, though, right?
Right, but it was all metal-based armor.
Yeah.
It wasn't leather.
Is there any reason why you can't wear metal armor, Aster?
No, I'm knocked out.
Huh?
I'm still passed out.
Can I pop him over my shoulder and carry him back to my bedroom?
Sure.
So as I'm walking, I'm going to, let's see, I have how many spell slots? Well, let's just get you in a comfortable bed where you can spin some hit dice and see how far that gets you.
Okay, is that something I can do? I've never.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
All right, so you're going to... I assume you're all going to take a long rest then?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
So now that I'm knocked out, how will this work with long rest? Because D&D Beyond will automatically put me back to 49, but I know that there's a rule you
Right,
set.
I don't use that. So what I'll let you do, first of all, you recover half your hit dice if you've used any already.
I haven't used any.
Okay, so you have all your hit dice. You can use as many of them as you want to recover hit points. So you can roll as many d8s as you have hit dice for, and at the end of your long rest, you will recover half of those. All right, so basically you'll recover two hit dice,
So I can use all 5 and then recover 2.
and then you recover two
So I'll have 2
hit
going
dice
forward.
left going forward, and you recover all your special abilities, your spells, all that stuff. Everyone does.
Got it.
So go ahead and use those hit dice if you want to after that long rest, and tell me what you're at when you're done.
Now, I have used 2 hit dice earlier,
Right.
and regardless of how many I hit, I'm going to gain 3. Or how many I used.
Yes, that's right.
All right, cool.
For listeners, I use a more old school version of rest in which you do not recover all hit points from a short rest. The reason being that when you've just been mangled by a black pudding, sleeping for 8 hours doesn't cure all that ails you.
I rolled really well, except for.
All right, so what's Aster back at after that long rest?
So I'm at 47 hit points.
Wow.
I rolled a 6, an 8, a 7, a 3, and an 8, and then 3 plus 3 on each roll.
Wow, so Aster is almost back up to full after a long rest. His skin heals quickly, I guess.
That dark elfin side of
Right.
him.
Tara, did you use any in this long rest?
I used 2, and I got back to 50.
All right, so Tara's almost fine as well. Paxton, you're not injured, right?
Correct.
Okay, so great.
Nothing can hurt me. I'm invincible.
Just keep saying that.
Even
I'm
though
so
I did,
scared.
I did die earlier that day.
You were unconscious. You didn't die.
I am so scared right now. I'm gonna. Okay.
Have we all been
Perhaps some new
unconscious
armor would
at some
help.
point this time?
Yes, everybody's had a turn to be unconscious.
Nice. Yeah, it's good. That bodes well for this 4-person dungeon that we're 3-manning.
So, Aster, once you wake up, I encourage you to peruse the armor that is in my room and see if any of it stands out to you.
Well, when I wake up, I look at all. Are you guys all in the room?
I think we probably put you to sleep in your own bed so we could get a bit of privacy.
Got it. But are you guys together now?
No, you wake up by yourself.
Yeah.
I
But
shake-
you know where her room and my room is.
Yeah. So I guess I'll go to Paxton first, and I go. Oh my God. That was amino acid. Ha, ha, oh, it hurts.
Paxton slow claps.
I'm like, oh God, I don't want to do that again. Pardon my pun. And then I just sit down on the floor and look at you, sad.
You hear Paxton kind of chuckle to himself and he goes, amino acid. I get it. It's hilarious.
Because everyone knows what amino acids are. All right. So
I'm high intelligence.
So what's the plan? You wake up what you think is probably the next morning. You're all well rested. Abilities restored. Most of your hit points back. Is it time to do as Tara suggested and head down to Abjuration?
Well, your armor is still
Yeah,
melted.
his armor's still trashed.
I have 12. I look at it. I get like almost half naked in front of you. I'm like, you like what you see? And then I start sifting around for some armor or something.
There were some other suits of armor around here. I'm assuming you don't want any full plate.
No, I don't. I believe that my character, because of...
There's some heavy armor around, but...
You probably don't want anything that imposes disadvantage on stealth, right?
Exactly. So
Right. I mean, if you want to use mending, I'll let you restore 1 point to it.
I don't have that spell.
But other than that, I don't really see... I don't think there's any light armor around here. It's all fairly heavy stuff.
Is there like half plate stuff like that?
There's a suit of splint that's heavy. Tara, do you still have that chain, or are you wearing the splint now?
She's wearing chainmail +1.
Tara is wearing chainmail +1. All right. Yeah, there was some splint +1, I think, as well.
I'm wearing that.
You're wearing that. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I'll tell you what armor I can wear without disadvantage. Armor, a breastplate.
You could take a breastplate. Yeah, there's a breastplate in that room that Paxton has claimed that has that symbol of the Eldritch Knights. You could take a breastplate.
Okay, so I'll take that, and that should keep me okay with my thing.
All right, what does that make your AC now?
I'm gonna remove the leather off of me because it's just regular breastplate, right?
That's right.
That puts me at I'm at 16 now.
Okay, 16 armor class.
I feel clunky, but I don't want to die.
For the briefest second, Paxton feels kind of offended that Aster is wearing the Eldritch Knight symbol without actually being an Eldritch Knight. and then he thinks better because he can't actually remember being an Eldritch Knight either. Paxton uses mending on Aster's leather armor and then hangs it back up in the spot where he took the breastplate from.
Oh, I'm gonna put that leather into my bag if
Oh, okay.
Okay, sure. Well, while you're putting that on, I'm like re-knitting the leather and stuff like that.
Yeah, with time you might be able to repair it. What's the plan now?
Tara's still in her room.
Tara's in her room. Okay. You can hear some noise outside. Aster and Paxton are walking up and down the hall. They're moving some metal things around, making noise.
Tara took her time. She showered. She's rebraiding her hair. She doesn't have to rough it right now, so she's taking her time.
It's a slow morning.
Paxton specifically feels that maybe his extra grime will give him an AC bonus, so he does not shower.
I use prestidigitation to clean myself. Would you like me to clean you?
No thanks.
Oh, okay.
I'm seasoned.
We're a really different group in terms of hygiene and grooming.
You could
Like
take
a
a shower
cast
in a
iron
different
skillet.
shower every day.
I don't think I'm going to go back to that big, long gymnasium kind of bathroom.
I'm trying to see if this affects my stuff. How would I?
What are you trying to figure out?
If the breastplate will impose disadvantage?
No, it does not.
Oh,
It's
okay.
medium armor, and it does not impose disadvantage.
Are you at a lower AC now than you were before?
I'm actually at a higher AC now.
Well, then let's just keep what you got.
Yeah, now he used mending, and I have my leather in my bag.
Right.
Is it back to normal AC?
No. It's 1 down instead of being 2 down.
Yeah.
So I'll only go to 13. I'm gonna keep the breastplate.
Yeah, I couldn't fix it all the way, but it's a lot better than it was before.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Paxton. Remind me if we survive this dungeon to buy some very good leather.
All right.
Will do.
Tara leaves the room and I guess sees them both in the hallway and is like, so Abjuration is next?
Abjuration is next.
Down the stairs into Abjuration. The stairs wind downward and reach another floor in a 20-foot by 20-foot square room like the one above. These stairs also continue downward further, just like they continue downward from administration to the next floor, and you've already determined what the next floor is, right?
Abjuration.
I mean, below Abjuration, you know
Conjuration.
what Conjuration's below that, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Tara's open about the map that she is
right.
creating and holding.
So the cylinder containing the stairs opens on a pair of large iron doors, but the doors glitter in the torchlight. There are gems and gem dust embedded all over the surface of the doors, and the word Abjuration is carved into the stone above them. What do you want to do?
So if this is anything like the floor above it, then the door that has Abjuration carved on top of it is probably going to be like the main lobby area. And then the rest is going to be more of a like staff area. So maybe we should check out that main lobby area first and then explore the staff like we did with administration.
I want to go around the stairwell and like check out the whole little area.
Like last time, you're checking to see if there's anything behind the stairwell where you cannot immediately see when you step out of the stairs. And in fact, there is. Behind the stairwell, there is indeed another sort of access or service door.
Does it look normal?
Yeah, it looks like a normal wooden door.
Okay. So Tara circles back around and says that, there's a door back there too. We just know that there's some flooding here, but I don't know where on the floor the flooding is.
I suppose we'll know it when we see it.
Yeah.
So we're going through the big double doors or through the small wooden door?
Tara shrugs and points to the double doors because that's what Paxton said. So
And
that works.
I'm going to sneak around, guys, but I'll be close, and I want to stealth.
All right. Oh my gosh. What's your stealth bonus?
Is it bad? It's a 9.
You're not sure where that voice came from.
Why did you roll? My God.
Aster?
You're not sure where he is.
Aster, where'd you go?
Aster is, as far as you can tell, he is left.
I send the message. I'm close by. As I whisper it.
Tara doesn't see or doesn't hear that, but she just sees Paxton shudder.
Man,
Tara pats
Murals
him on the
must-
shoulder. Man, it's just regular. He just does this.
Yeah. Well, looks like it's just you and me now, Tara. 2-person dungeon crawl.
Yeah, the party's getting smaller and smaller.
I think that blob really scared him, and I can understand.
Shook me to my bones.
The large iron doors open on another huge space, with an enormous teleportation septagram in the middle of the room. The stone under the teleportation circle has been enchanted to glow with a bright white light that illuminates the room. There are some empty crates and an open empty chest, but otherwise most of this space is, well, empty. To the west, however, there are some stone barriers, almost like a castle's crenellations. These barriers have small gaps between them through which a person could slide sideways, or arrows could be fired. The brightness of the middle of the room makes it difficult to see what is behind those stone barriers.
I want to roll a history check to see if I know what crenellations are.
Crenellations are those little things on the top of a castle's wall, or a tower that, those little up and down jagged
Okay.
things.
I gotcha. The teeth.
Yeah. So that's what you see in here. There's a long, flat, empty crate. There's the septagram. That's what you see in this room. And then there's those stone barriers across the room.
So those crenellations look like they were built in as part of the floor, or
Yes.
like they were made out of junk. Like
They look like they have been carefully shaped here out of stone.
Tara leans over to Paxton and kind of elbows him and asks quietly, "What is abjuration?" She doesn't really know.
I mean, I
schools
as a
of
player
magic.
know what abjuration is, but would Paxton know?
What's your Arcana bonus?
It is +2.
Yeah, you can explain to Tara what abjuration is.
So there's, how there's like different schools of wizardry?
Sure.
Abjuration is one of them, and if memory serves me correct, I think abjuration is about like protection and creating barriers and things like that. So I mean, kind of like your fighting style. So you'll probably like abjuration.
Okay. Tara kind of nods because I guess that makes the crenellations make a little sense. Because otherwise she was like, "Was this a fighting arena? What are they doing here?"
So I want to do an Arcana check on the crenellations and see if they are enchanted or anything.
They don't look magic. They look like just stone.
But there's a gap in the front.
Right. There's gaps between them. You can see them on the map there. There's gaps between these through which a person could slide or arrows could be fired.
So it looks like these crenellations here were put up so that someone could guard against an attacker that would be coming towards them. So whatever is behind these crenellations must be pretty important for them to guard.
I was thinking it was just, decorative because, protection. But yeah, let's go.
So is that a wall behind the crenellations, you said?
It's hard to see exactly what's back there behind those.
I go
Tara's gonna
investigate
see.
it.
Okay. Where are you walking? You walking across the septogram? You walking around the edge of the room? What's the plan?
I think I'm going to walk around the septogram because
Okay.
I don't want to walk in it because it's magic-y and scary.
Okay.
But
All right.
not
Same.
necessarily edging the wall.
All right. You walk around the septogram. You walk past that empty crate. As you walk past the empty crate, you can see that there's a label on the side of it, and that label reads Experimental Thundershirt, provided for hearing protection research. Return to evocation upon completion. And you walk up, you slide behind these crenellations here, these wall defensive structures, and you see that there's a desk here with 2 chairs behind it. And there are also 2 large iron doors behind that desk.
Maybe those crenellations weren't meant to protect the people from attackers. Maybe they were like doing experiments in this room, and it was meant to shield the researchers.
Yeah, they pretty clearly are designed to shoot outward. So someone on the desk side could shoot stuff out into the room where the septogram is. You've seen defensive fortifications before.
So the thunder shirt, that's one of the things that the gnomes were trying to give us, right?
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So we know that a little bit of this room is going to have been picked through, but I'm going to search that desk anyway.
Okay. It's really more of just a table. There's really nothing interesting about it. If you want to do a perception check around the room.
I flip the table.
Okay. All right. Tara flips the table. It makes a loud noise.
Does anything respond?
You don't hear any responses. You don't see anything else of interest in this room. It looks like, as you surmised, it looks like it has been picked clean.
All right. So where are the doors in this room?
There are 2 large iron doors at the west, and then there are the 2 large iron doors you came through to the east.
And that's it.
That's it.
Tara looks at Paxton and kind of nudges towards the doors and shrugs because she's kind of done with the room. But,
Paxton lets out a heavy sigh and nods.
I send message to Tara and I go, "Hey, Tara.
Yes, Aster.
Maybe we should be very quiet. Very, very quiet. You can tell that I'm scared."
Yeah, you don't know where he is, but he sounds nervous.
Yeah, I agree. I'm being quiet.
She flips the table.
Paxton starts hammering on the flip table with his mace out of boredom.
All right. Well, Aster, I'm afraid they're making lots of noise. What do you all want to do now?
Go through the doors on the west.
All right. You open the western doors. Which door? The door on the right or the door on the left?
I assumed that they went to the same place.
You open both doors, assuming they go to the same place, and in fact, you see that there is a split hallway. There is a hallway on one side and a hallway on the other side, and they are not going the same place.
Tara goes left.
Tara goes left. So you go into the left.
Closing the right door.
Closing the right door. Okay. You close the right door. Oh, I'm sorry. I left out one more detail. The door on the left is slightly ajar. Well, the one on
Now
the right
it's
is
wide
completely
open.
closed. Now it's wide open. The door creaks open. You see a long hallway in front of you, 10 feet wide, ending in a wall 80 feet to the west. Passages spring to the right and the left off this passage, but there are no doors and no labels or signs. So what do you want to do?
Unless someone is taking over the exploration at this point, Tara is pretty systematic in her. If there's something to the left,
She goes left.
She's gonna go left.
All right. She goes left. She takes this first left here. And the passage immediately offers you some options. It can go right. It can go left.
Left.
All right, you go left and you reach a dead end. You follow it around to a twist there and you reach a dead end, and you find lying on the floor here the remains of a dead rat.
Big or like a little tiny
Just
one?
a little tiny rat.
Oh, well. So I backtrack.
All right, you backtrack and take the next left.
No, because that would take me back to where... Oh, yeah.
That
okay,
way?
Good. Next left.
You continue this way. You find there's a little hallway here to your left again and a door at the end of it.
What's the door look like?
It's a wooden door. and the door says delivery drop-off.
Tara kind of turns back to Paxton and wherever Aster is. Says, I don't think their architects were very good. This place is kind of a mess.
I hate it.
But she's going to open the door.
All right, you open the door. This is a 40-foot by 60-foot room, and it appears to have been picked clean. There are shelves against the east wall, but they are all bare. The floor has some scraps of blank paper, and in the corner is a gnome-sized bedroll and an oil lantern with an empty reservoir.
I'm just search the room
Okay.
a little bit. See, because there's paper, maybe there's more notes, whatever.
All right, you have a look around the room. The paper looks like it has been there a really long time. It's very dry and brittle. The bedroll looks like it has not been there as long, but it definitely hasn't been used in a while. And the oil lamp looks like it would probably still work.
I got a magical torch.
Yeah.
I don't. So I light the oil lamp.
There's an empty reservoir, so it won't light. You would need some oil.
I summon Richard next to Paxton. You think it's me for a second.
Well, I don't have any oil, so this thing's kind of useless, and I put it back down.
Okay, so back out into the hallway?
Yes.
All right, the hallway does offer you an option to go left.
Yep, I take it.
All right, you take the option to the left here. It hits a wall there at the end and sort of jogs over. And then there's an option, let's see here. It continues down and around, a little bit to the south. Yeah, and then the passage sort of jogs over a little bit to your left and then takes a right turn and doesn't offer you any options to avoid that. But then you find another opening on your left. You want to look down that?
Left.
All right, you turn left, and you turn left again, and you hit another turn, which goes around to your left, and then you hit another dead end.
Oh my
I hate
God.
this place so much.
And at the end of this dead end,
Gives me good places to hide.
yeah, the Aster is basically invisible here. You turn the corner and you find another dead end. And what you find on the floor here is a small box with a note on top of it, sitting on the floor. Yeah. All right. I've got the notes. I assume since Tara is the one leading the way, I will give them to her. She's probably just going to grab them.
Tara bends down and picks up the note and reads it aloud for her companions. Gribbage. I was going to deliver these papers you requested, but I forgot how to get through your ridiculous maze. Oh, guys, it's a maze. I'm not going to spend hours wandering around here, so I'm just going to leave this here. If you want it badly enough, you can search for it. I'm not even going to put it in one of your delivery rooms. I wish you weren't such an overcautious, paranoid git. Stupid goblin.
Oh.
Signed the lovely Scaver. And so Tara shuffles that note under the box and opens the box.
Okay. Inside are some more notes, which you've got there. Plus, there are a few magical scrolls.
All right, she thumbs through it, and she hands the scrolls off to the people who care about scrolls.
Okay.
And
Do you
well,
want to
I
do
guess only Paxton, because that's the one she can see.
Okay. Paxton, you want to have a look at these magical scrolls?
Sure.
It's pretty clear looking at them what they are. The first one is a scroll of Featherfall, and then there are 2 scrolls of Private Sanctum.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I believe you already have some scrolls of Private Sanctum.
Yeah, this place is really big on their private sanctums.
Okay, so I'm going to read the other notes. This one, I mean, Tara, I'm sure she's not, the best reader. I don't know. So if I stumble, it's her.
Okay.
To Department of Necromancy, Administrator Strethok. From Department of Abjuration, Administrator Gribbage. This discussion of solutions is infuriating. This is a problem of inefficient magical technology. Clearly, the solution is superior magical technology. We must defend the population centers from rising seas. We will never succeed in reducing worldwide magic use. So they were having the similar issues to what we were having in the bottle.
Yeah.
I guess. We must encourage everyone to retreat behind the walls and devote resources to strengthening them. We in Abjuration can help with this. Perhaps we should help those who have taken to the seas form new societies. Well, I don't know what walls they're talking about, but okay. Anyway, there's a note at the bottom of this letter. It just says, Gribich, you must identify problem. Oh, it's this guy again. The guy who can't, write words normal. Is not technical issue. Is systematic problem. Accommodation is only part of solution. That's Strethawk. Guy with the experiments.
So is Strethawk a necromancer then? Is that the implication?
Oh, well, yeah. It says he is in the Department of Necromancy, so yes, you are correct.
So it makes me feel a little bit better that this room is an actual maze and not just a poorly designed series of hallways. But then it makes me even more angry that they intentionally designed a maze.
Right. I have some more letters, so I'm going to read this one as well. This one's to the Department of Transmutation from Administrator Lagaris, a new name, and it's from Department of Abjuration, Administrator Gribich. So he's being given a note from himself. The latest Revision 2 test runs indicate a problem we did not anticipate. Initial subjects, when dropped onto the island, were eaten by wildlife before they could awaken enough to defend themselves. It must have been terrifying. We in Abjuration considered magical protections, but it might be simpler to just build something to prevent subjects from landing on the forest floor, giving them time to recover. Strethawk agrees and suggested I take the idea to you.
Do you think that's why we have tarps in our world?
Yeah. Tara started kind of reading slower, but she kind of nods as Paxton says that, and continues to reading. Nets or tarps are easy enough, but to suspend them off the ground and weather the effects of the time shifts, something durable is needed. Stone shape might work. We cannot throw in some dwarves and tell them to work the stone for obvious reasons. A stone solution would also save us some trouble if we had to cancel an experiment, wipe out the inhabitants, and start over. The solution will need to be simple and sealable. I am available to help remotely. Just send me a note or use sending if a paper trail is not important. I thought I saw something in the shadows by the stairwell last week, and I am not returning until the Eldritch Knights find whatever it was.
So does that imply that these researchers down here are not Eldritch Knights?
I think the Eldritch Knights, they were saying, ran the administration of this level and the protection of the worlds, but not necessarily the magic parts down here.
Like they were the security, maybe.
I think that's what Lavarian told us.
I sent a message to Paxton. Oh, God. I hate these scientists. Did you read that? Did you hear that part where they're like, well, if it doesn't work, we can wipe out the inhabitants?
Yeah, what a jerk.
I really don't appreciate how they think of us as ants.
Yeah, also they're building mazes.
Yeah, I mean...
What the heck is up with that?
Annoying. Okay.
Aster, how far from the rest of the party are you? You just sneaking up right behind them?
No, I'm like, so you see where they're by that wall? I'm just on the corner. So once
You're at that corner over there?
Yeah, so once they turn, I move back. I just want to be close enough to hear, but not close enough to be spotted.
Okay. I want you to make a deception check.
A deception?
Not a stealth check, a deception check.
Interesting. Okay. And roll it myself?
Yep. Think of it as a saving throw.
Oh, boy. It's going to be 21.
21. Okay. You feel like, when Paxton responds to your sendings with another, or your messages with another telepathic message, you feel something like that poking around in your head, but there's no message attached to it.
I immediately get scared and roll with acrobatics towards my teammates and pull out my rapier towards my opposite side. So,
okay.
Because they're against the wall, right? So I pull out my sword and I'm pointing it in the direction away from my team, and I immediately tell them that, okay, I don't think that was you. My brain just got flared up. I feel like I mean, the healer, my god. Paxton, Tara, something was in my head and I don't know where that came from. God, I hate this place.
I send out a message as like a psychic pulse to no one in general and just say, identify yourself.
Paxton, make a deception check.
Oh no. I have a spell for this now.
A deception check?
A deception check.
I wonder what that means.
Please roll high.
It's a 12.
Okay. You hear a voice in your head, and you feel a poking around in there, and the voice says,
You cannot remember who you are, but you suspect. So many dead at your hands. Even across centuries, you were called betrayer.
Wait, out of curiosity, can we hear this?
No.
Or is it just him?
Paxton.
I want to do something as I'm in that moment. Can I cast Detect Thoughts?
On who?
So I need a target. I can't target.
It has to be a target you can see.
Never mind then. Darn it. I wanted to hear if I could hear his thoughts.
Can I message back and have like a psychic conversation?
You could try.
Okay. I want to send a message back and say, "Yep, you hit the nail on the head, brother. I do not know who I am. I think that I've been called Frith and Quia in the past, but you can call me Paxton."
Okay.
I love this person's voice.
So, what can I call you, friend?
I'll talk to you soon.
I'm sorry.
That is the creepiest voice I've ever heard in my
I
life.
wish I could hear it.